You can wave that wand all you want, but you have no real power. I'm a public figure now. People expect me to lie. Be encouraging.
So I went and saw a screening of Wicked for Good last night, and I don't know. I'm kind of mixed about this. You're gonna have to excuse me. I'm not as big into this plot as I am most movies because this is based off a obviously the book Wicked, which would turn adaptation into the play. Which part one was Wicked. Now this is Wicked for Good, and in this story it picks up exactly almost 2 years removed from the events of Wicked, where Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, kind of confronts the King of Oz, the Wizard of Oz, if you will, as a fraud. And she is the true witch and has the true powers. And everyone turns on her once that she doesn't get in line with what the wizard wants. Now, Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, is on the run while they turn Galinda, Ariana Grande's character, into Galinda the Good Witch. And they give her all the power and praise that the Wicked Witch was originally supposed to have gotten. Also, in the events of this timeline, it takes place 2 years ahead. Firo, who is in love with Alphaba's character, is now the head of the guard, who is in task with the task of catching the Wicked Witch of the West. And so, even though he's in love with her, he must now capture her. And Bach, who is in line with Nessa Rose from their relationship from the previous one, who is in love with Ariana Grande's character, Galinda the Good Witch. This is all a love triangle. Thus, also not forgetting the addition of Dorothy, the lion, the straw man, and Toto as well. They kind of touch on them, but it's also involved in the story that gives you both perspective of the Wizard of Oz and the Wicked for Good, and it all leads to a climactic end, which how we all know how it ends with Elphaba becoming soaked by Dorothy's by throwing water on her, and she eventually dies. This is the whole telling of the final act of the play or movie. Now I have to say, like, I'm a fan of the first one. I thought that was just such an amazing musical. I do kind of maybe want to go back and check this one out again. It pros, and I see a lot of people. I see a lot of ups and downs about this one. A lot of people say this one isn't as good as the first one. I will agree with that one, even though I guess the reason why I'm a little on the outs because I am not an avid book reader. I've never read Wicked. I'm not a musical person, but I really did love the first one. And also, if you like, you don't have to watch The Wizard of Oz, but it gives you an implication of what's going on because they have that, as you saw from the clip, when she said there's a house coming in here, and Dorothy is in there. And the one thing that I didn't like about this movie is that they never show Dorothy's face. It's always the side of, she's always coming from like an afterthought, like she walks away or something like that. But this gives the backstory of why Elphaba wanted the shoes. The shoes were originally for her sister. That's what she gives her sister. So the whole time you're thinking like the Wicked Witch is really a mean person, and she just wants the shoes that Galinda gave her sister after a house fell on her sister. She gave them to Dorothy to go down the Yellow Brick Road to go to the Wizard of Oz. And Elphaba the whole time is just trying to get the shoes back that she gifted her sister. So it's like Elphaba is just misunderstood character throughout the whole movie. We know that she's good, but everyone else claims her as the Wicked Witch, and especially in the second one, everyone is like is 2 years after the events of the first Wicked. So now she is on the run, and everyone is scared of her, like townspeople, and the odds is and the wizard is trying to essentially capture her. Seen it or read the books, which a lot of people have. I don't want to spoil the ending for you, so I won't do that to you. But I will say, Cynthia Review and Ariana Grande, I love their characters in this. The singing is immaculate. The cinematography in this is beautiful. Once again, the set design, amazing. So it just, to me, the fluidity of this, it was kind of up and down. It just didn't have that oomph that the first one did. I guess in my personal opinion, I'm not mad for what they did, but how they kind of involve the Wizard of Oz storyline in it, which you kind of had to, but it gave you the perspective of like the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, how they all became their characters, which I did love that back end of it. But I don't know, it's like I have strong feelings about how they kind of interline them in there. Like I almost wish this was they didn't add the Wizard of Oz in there, but they kind of had to because that's just such a predominantly big story and it all ties in together. I guess I'm just not a fan of how they did it and then how these characters became them. I was just kind of like, oh my god, like how the Tin Man became the Tin Man and how the Cowardly Lion became the Cowardly Lion, and then also the Straw Man, which to me that just kind of hurt my heart. But at the end, it was such a beautiful ending. Like I really love the ending of this movie. That's the one thing I will give it praise. If I was giving this rating, like the first one, I 9.5, but this one, I'll go 8.5. So like I said, we'll come down to point. Like I said, it wasn't bad. It just to me, it just lacked that oomph of the first one. Do 120 million this weekend, and it's gonna be do more because next week is Thanksgiving. So drop those comments. Let me know what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think of this movie. Once you do go see it, drop those comments. All right, guys, holler at you later.